African diaspora living in Yeoville in Johannesburg say they can't celebrate African unity when they're harassed by local xenophobic movements. It comes as the Sports and Arts and Culture Minister, Nathi Mthethwa, launched Africa Month in Midrand today. It's aimed at celebrating our continent's diversity by promoting unity and peace. Newzroom Afrika senior reporter Tumaole Mohlaoli is in Yeoville in Johannesburg. He joins us now. Tumaole, good afternoon to you. What are people saying there?
Well, Stephen, people are saying here that as we celebrate Africa Month, the launch of Africa Month, which was kicked off by Arts and Culture and Sports Minister Nathi Mthethwa, many here feel a little aggrieved because they don't feel the African love, they don't feel the brotherhood that is supposed to be one of the central pillars of the celebrations of this Africa Month, specifically because of what they've seen with the advent of movements like Operation Dudula, which has been targeting specifically undocumented foreign nationals. Operation Dudula saying that it's doing so because they believe that many of the foreign nationals who are undocumented are behind crimes in communities. But some here in Berea are saying that, of course, they don't necessarily agree with that because they feel that, of course, they are part and parcel of a African community in South Africa. But let's hear more from one of the leaders here in the community. Sheikh, can you just let us know exactly what you think about celebrating Africa Month and what's been going on with operations like Operation Dudula or movements like Operation Dudula, and how that makes foreign nationals or African nationals feel?
Thank you so much to have me in your program. First of all, what I wanted to mention here is especially for the problem of the documentation. We are not the one that we don't want to have a document. We are not the one who don't want to have a document. If the government give us the document, of course we're gonna have it, because everyone want to have a document. Let's say in case of accident, you can be able to be identified and to be in contact with your family that so and so has been passed away through the accident. When you're talking about Africa things, that the celebration of the African movement and all those things, we feel like we have been rejected. We are in a different continent that is not Africa. You know why I say this? Because all of us, we are African. If you look at me, you cannot know my identification. You cannot know where I come from. What you see in front of you is black like you. I'm not racist. The biggest foreigner is that one that you see is different color that is not belong to this Africa. But me, you can say I'm a Zulu or I'm a Xhosa or I'm a Sotho. So when you say that I am in Africa and then the people of Africa rejected me, my brothers, so I feel bad. Especially when they're talking about we get their people job in South Africa. Foreigner in South Africa representing 4% in South Africa community, in the popularity of South Africa. Even if all the foreigners, they are not working, for the 34% of South Africa that are unemployed, the things you won't change. So what we need here is to create a job. As you're standing behind me, you can see most of the shop here is a foreigner that will create it for their capacity of their mentality of and the way they are thinking, and they created business for themselves. It's not like most of people, they are working, yes, but most of people also creating what can make them busy to get to 2 rent, 3 rent so that they can survive.
Right. So what do you say about the fact that as we've noticed sometimes in particularly some of the violent crimes, we see that those who are in court most of the time we have foreign nationals represented there, and the South African police have also said that in some instances when they have crimes of contact, the crimes of businesses being broken into, they can't trace the fingerprints when they do find fingerprints on the properties or at the crime scene, which would suggest that those would be undocumented people who are participating in this. This creates a misconception or creates a perception of criminality being attached to foreign nationals. Or what do you say about that?
You are right, 100% right, 100% right. I think it's the duty of Home Affairs and police so that they can document people by the force. You like it or not, you have to be documented. They have to bring the program that everyone can be documented. And yes, when you're talking about a crime, I want to disagree with you. But it's not everyone that is committing crime. As I am standing here, you can go to Yeoville police station. I never commit a crime for 22 years that I'm in this country. And every police knows me. So I'm not telling you that we are not bad. Among us, we have a bad people and good people. Even if in the family, even if in the South Africa society, there is a good one and bad one. It doesn't mean when one South African hurt one foreigner, then we say all the South Africans are bad. No, we cannot say that. It's not like when one foreigner also did one bad things, then the blame have to come to the foreigner community. No. But for this issue of crime, I think the government and the police and the Home Affairs, they have to come with a program, strong program that can be documented to people, because we cannot live in society that some people, they are not documented. You cannot know where they come from, who they are, what they are doing. It's totally impossible. So the program have to be there, and the rule and the regulation have to be ruled on top of everyone to be documented in that issue. Yes.
And lastly, and very quickly, Sheikh Yusuf Tol, what do you think needs to be done to integrate communities more, so that communities can speak to each other, communities can get to mingle with each other as we celebrate Africa Month and beyond?
I think that is an issue of the... let me tell you something very deep now. In the family, there is two people, father and mothers. Those two people, they are the one making children to united, right? So in the issue of popularity of people in the society, there is a two father and mother. One father and mother is there. Whose father? The leaders, the president, the ministers, those are the fathers. Religion people, pastors and imam, they have a duty to rule, to make sure that the community, they join together. And they have to work together, and everything will go smooth. If the government contacted the spiritual leaders, they work together, everything will be integrated smoothly, because the government has got its people, and the church leaders also, imam leaders, they have also their people in their, they are following them. One way, when they talk to each other, is going to be easy for everyone to talk together in one language. You understand? But for issue of crime and all those things and the African issue, I think we have to think first, because South Africa was the greatest country in Africa who was welcoming people who are coming with the tears. They must not give up to help us because of bad people. They must not give up. If they give up, it's like they didn't want to help other people who are crying. Even if in the operation of Tutula, there is other people who are giving the good advice to run that operation. There is other people who so are short temper who say, no, let's do this and this. Everyone is not the same. But I hope this message can touch authority spiritually and the government. They work together and they can see the background, what they can do for each other, or what they can do to make sure that everyone can be documented, or everyone must become one as a nation of Africa.
Thank you very much for that message. There was a message of unity, a message of various government departments and civil society, including religious leaders, coming together to try and solve the issue of, if you can call it Afro-pessimism, xenophobia. But as we celebrate Africa Month, following the launch of Africa Month, I beg your pardon, there by Minister Nathi Mthethwa, residents here in Johannesburg saying that they feel that there needs to be more done to integrate the various sectors of society to ensure that social integration between local nationals and foreign nationals is something that becomes a centerpiece to ensure that everyone can celebrate the diversity and promote unity within the African diaspora and the African continent and locals here in South Africa and beyond. Just with that, it's back to you in the studio, Stephen.
Tumaole Mohlaoli, thank you very much indeed for that update.